Hey everyone, welcome back. Do you know who this guy is? This is Steven Pressfield. He has written some of the most prolific books on creativity on earth. The thing that we love about Steven Pressfield right there, handsome looking fella, is that he says it how it is. If you're watching this video, it's because you want to live a life without regret. If you're watching this video, you want to create things. You want to do things with your life. You want to make stuff like this or things like that. Or you want to look back and go, I am proud of the life that I lived. And in order to do that, he wrote a book. And that book is called Turning Pro. And in this book, Turning Pro, he talks about the non-negotiables of how to turn that dream that you have into a reality. But it's not so much like, here are the 7 steps. It's like, how the heck do you become the kind of person who places their derriere in the chair and works on the thing? So in this video, I guarantee you by the end of it, you're gonna have a better understanding of what it actually means to turn pro. How do you become the kind of person that turns your dreams into reality? The first thing that you have to do in order to turn pro is that you have to eliminate distractions. There's this old wise tale with Warren Buffett and Steve Jobs, and it says that Warren Buffett sits him down and he says, what are the 25 goals that you want to reach in your career? Steve Jobs writes them all down and he says, great, now you have to pick 5 of them. All the rest of them, the rest of the 20, get rid of them, throw them out. You're never going to be able to achieve them. And any good artist, any professional, any entrepreneur, anyone who does something of deep substance knows that you have to completely and utterly eliminate distraction. And you have to give all your energy towards the thing that you're trying to achieve. Whether that be starting a business, writing a book, being an artist, whatever it is for you, making a YouTube channel. Whatever it is for you, you have to ruthlessly eliminate all the other options in order to focus on the ones that really matter. One of the points that he talks about in regards to eliminating distraction is he says that oftentimes we end up chasing our shadow careers instead of our legitimate careers, the calling, the thing that we feel like we've been placed on earth to do. And you know you're chasing a shadow career instead of your real career when there's absolutely no risk involved with the thing that you're doing. Put it this way, if you've always wanted to be an artist, but you find yourself working at a bank, finance, and it pays the bills and you're loving it, but you know deep down it's like, oh, like you convince all of your friends that you enjoy doing it, but everyone knows that you're just giving them pleasantries. Like you know deep in your heart, you're actually not telling the truth. Because the reason, hear me out, the reason you're not telling the truth is because you would have to confront the realities of the fact that you're not actually living the life that you want to live, which is difficult. It's hard for any of us to do that, let alone if you have a stable, well-paying job. But the thing about that is that when you're 90 years old laying on your deathbed, you're gonna have tremendous regret. So how do you actually become pro? You have to eliminate distractions. And one of the ways that you eliminate distractions is by choosing to abandon your shadow career by chasing your true career, or your calling is what Brother Pressfield says. And in point 3, we're going to talk about what it actually looks like to chase the dream, become a pro, but we're getting there. Be patient now, be patient. That's the first attribute of what it means to be someone who becomes pro, someone who turns pro, is that they are ruthlessly eliminating distractions around them. The second way that you shape yourself into the person who is a professional, someone who turns pro, is that you don't make excuses. Those pesky things, excuses. He gives a perfect example of this in the book. In World War I, soldiers would often be in trench warfare, and it would be so brutal, so difficult. Oftentimes what would happen is that soldiers would shoot themselves in the feet, which, pardon the graphicness, but it was to avoid the horrors and the treachery of the trenches. And I think oftentimes we do that very similar thing metaphorically. Hopefully you're not shooting yourself in the foot. You should probably go to a doctor if that's the case. But we do this all the time. We make excuses. What are they? You know them. I don't have enough time. What's another one? That's right. I don't have enough money. What's the third one? I don't have enough talent. These are all justifying factors as to reasons why we aren't pursuing the things that we really want to, our calling, our dreams, our aspirations. And here's the thing about them. They have so much merit. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you don't have enough time. You work 3 jobs. Like, how would you have time to make art? Or you don't have enough money. Like, you went into tremendous student loan debt. Like, of course you're not going to be able to climb out of that. Like, it's okay. You don't have to pursue your dreams. But life's ruthless. You know what I mean? Like, you're the only person that's going to be able to do the things that you want to do with your own life. No one's going to do them for you. The thing about making excuses, what you tend to do is that you pretend like you don't have the power to change your own life. And I'm not at all trying to say it's harder or easier for some people. I'm aware of the unfairness and prejudices and privileges of life. I'm not trying to diminish that at all. But what I am saying is that when you make excuses for the life that you want to be living that you're not currently living, what you are doing, in a sense, is that you are relinquishing the power that you have to change your own life. You're saying, well, here's why I can't wake up at 5 a.m. and go on the run. Here's why I can't get home from work and work on the thing until 1 a.m. and then go to work the next day. Here are all the excuses as to why I can't do it. But the difference, again, between an amateur, someone who does it just for the love of it, and a pro, someone who actualizes their dreams, is the person is unbelievably committed to eliminating the excuses that they have in their life in order to achieve the unbelievable things that we all want to achieve. And you can do it too. Look, you've got more in you than you think. You're more capable. You're more... that's all I've got. You're more capable than you could ever imagine. Turning pro means to focus on the now. It doesn't mean focusing on the future or dwelling on the past. It means taking initiative for what you have control of today, right now, in this very moment, after you finish watching this video, and going for it. The last point before we move on to the final point, point 3, is you gotta stop making excuses to not subscribe. You gotta just subscribe. You gotta do it. You know what I mean? Okay, so we've made it to the final point. Once you've eliminated the distractions and once you've stopped making excuses, the final point that separates the amateurs from the professionals is they do the work. People often talk about this as the person who's the overachiever or that person who never stops going. Not only do you have to be an overachiever, you have to be unbelievably patient. The kind of energy that you need to put in to bring your dreams from the unseen to the seen is tremendous, and it requires an inordinate amount. Inordinate, spell that, Daniel. Couldn't do it for you. Here's how you spell inordinate. It requires an inordinate amount of energy. This is on page 83. This is what Steven Pressfield says. He says, for 2 hours, I made myself sit there and write. He's a writer. And he said, torturing out some trash that I chucked immediately into the bin or into the garbage can. That was enough. That was the turning point for him. The moment where he went from an amateur, someone who does it laissez-fairely, laissez-faire? It's the difference between doing something just for fun and actually bringing your dreams to life. And this is the weird, not to take this existentially, but this is the tension we all have with being creatives, is that you want to do it for the fun of it. You want to get into the flow state, like Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's book, which I will link here in the banner or in the link below if you want to watch it. You got to do it for the long haul. And in order to do it for the long haul, you have to enjoy doing it. Hence the flow state. You have to get into this place where time dilates and you just enjoy what you're doing. And yet there's also going to be times where you just have to sit down and do the hard work. You got to be willing, like Steven Pressfield, to sit down for 2 hours, make absolute rubbish, throw it right in the bin, and do it again the next day. You have to be willing to begrudgingly sit down, put in the hours of work that are absolute trash, and then refine it. Classically, Malcolm Gladwell says that it takes about 10,000 hours to become a master of something. But oftentimes I think we just think that's like... We think that's just hours on the board. It is, but it's not just hours. It's hours of an... Don't interrupt me, Mike. It's not just hours on the board. It's intentional hours. He talks about this in the book. Pablo Picasso. You know Pablo Picasso. He drew stuff like this and stuff like that and all the other stuff. You know Pablo. You know Pablo. Not this Pablo. Different Pablo. Pablo Picasso had this exhibition and he was so dissatisfied with what he had done. He goes up and he slashes through all the paintings. And why is that important for someone who does the hard work? Because someone who does the hard work and intentionally refines, tries to get to that 10,000 hours of refinement, they are brutally honest when they don't meet the mark. And when you don't meet the mark, you have to be willing to just trash it. You have to get rid of it. And you got to try again the next day, and the next day, and the next day. I'll leave you with this as we land the plane. There are two different rewards of the artist, the person who brings their dreams to life. There is the conventional rewards of money and influence and status, whatever you want to call that. But then there's the psychological reward. And the psychological reward doesn't get talked about enough. The psychological reward is becoming the kind of person that you're proud of when you lay on your deathbed. The psychological reward is making something phenomenal and being really proud of yourself that you were willing to put in the hours to create it. The psychological reward is knowing that at the end of the day, you left everything out on the field and you have nothing else to give. That kind of reward is far greater than the conventional rewards of money and fame, because we see people chase that and it ruins their life. But at the end of the day, the thing that separates an amateur, someone who does it for fun, and a professional is that they choose to do it every single day. And that, my friends and family, is how you become pro. I hope you enjoyed the video. What stood out to you the most? What point are you wrestling with still? Is it that you're still making excuses? Is that you're getting distracted too much? Or is it that you just struggle to do the work? I read every single comment, so feel free to comment below and I'll make sure to respond. All right, I'll chat with you very soon. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Put this at the end, Daniel. This is funny content.